I haven't been on here in a minute, so I just want to stop in and say hello, see what everybody's up to. Facebook has been disabled, and it's not giving me the ability to log into Facebook so we could broadcast on there. But I don't know. But I wanted to say hello and check in with y'all. I don't know if I had broadcast since about 2 weeks ago. Maybe it's been longer than that. But I recently was just thinking about you. How are you doing, my dear? Hey, Aaron, how are you? Um, I'm doing better. I'm doing better. A couple weeks back, um, I was having a really bad day, and I had a heart attack Friday night, about two Fridays ago, and went to the hospital, and they took really good care of me, gave me meds, and got my blood pressure down, and Um, they did a little procedure. They went through my wrist. They went up towards my heart. Um, put a couple stents in to take care of some blockage. Um, and I'm feeling much better than I was 2 weeks ago, for sure. Um, for those that maybe watching, or maybe you're watching a replay or whatever. Where the hell have you been? Hey, Big Juice, how you doing? Howdy, stranger. Sorry to hear about your health issue. Hey, Jeff. Thank you. Got a stent in my pancreas. Twinsies. Uh, hey Ben. So yeah, so I started taking meds. Um, changing my diet. Haven't really started on the exercise part of it yet, but I'll work my way to it. Um, but yeah, it's just water and veggie wraps. I go to Subway and I get a spinach wrap with just veggies uh, twice a day. One for breakfast, one for dinner. What, you got diabetes? High blood pressure, diabetes, um, a couple things. Uh, but I'm changing my ways. I've already gone down from, I think, 380 about a month ago to like 340 now. You can broadcast and take us for scenic walk. It's kind of tough to do. Um, to go for a walk and do it, but no protein in your rep. Nah, go keto. Went up. So I was up for about a year. I was staying up in Maine. Um, with my brother. Oh yeah, they got me on a high blood pressure too. Makes me hungry. I'm getting fat. Not for me, man. I'm taking blood thinners and stuff like that. I'm taking my meds, and like I said, I dropped about 40 pounds in a month. So I'm really happy with that. I don't. It's probably going to plateau at some point, but I mean, I feel a difference already just cutting out sugar. Like I said, it's water. I could tell you the ingredients. The food that is entering my body is water, spinach, onions, pickles, cucumber, tomato, a little bit of mayonnaise, black pepper, the spinach wraps, and that's it. Maybe some peanuts, some unsalted peanuts every once in a while. I got a jar of unsalted peanuts that I snack on. At least go for walks, yeah. But no, I went up to tomato is great for heart health. Uh, you might have been the one that told me that. Try tomato. I love Subway pickles. um, but like I stay away from sugar. I stay away from most stuff. Like I except with the exception of Like I had a small sweet tea from Sonic a couple days ago, and Subway pickles are awesome. Matt, you still have those PS5s on sale? Matt, you still have those PS5s on sale? What? Um, uh, shit, you made me lose my train of thought. What the hell was PS5s? What? Um, fucking lost it. PS5. I don't see that comment. Yeah, someone just texted me that. I have no idea. Or messaged me on here. I have no. Sorry. Go ahead. Uh, I'll just I'll hop on a track. I don't know if it's the right one, but that's all that I eat, and I have like unsalted peanuts, and oh, that's what I was saying. I went up to Maine for about a year with my brother. Holy shit, you're alive. How are you? Hey, Thrawn. How you doing, buddy? I'm doing okay. My brother's on keto because he takes blood pressure meds and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. I think he might be diabetic as well. But I'm taking like pills for it, so it's not like looking skinny. I don't know what that. That's what I said. Not still traveling the world. Well, I'm in Tennessee at least. I'm not traveling yet. Not quite there yet. But he's on keto, and if I had my own kitchen that I could cook, um, I could see maybe giving it another shot. But I'm kind of like I kind of got bored with the type of stuff that he eats because he does like a lot of like he does this chicken and broccoli and cheese and like cream cheese and a couple other things. Get the RV back. And like he's got bacon and stuff in it, and so it's a lot of meat. He eats a lot of meat. Um, Basically, his diet is it has to have fat content in it, and I'm like I'm kind of tired of meat. Hot plate with an inverter. No more pizzas. No more pizzas. I can't do it. I wasn't really keen on pizzas anyways, other than the fact that they were free. Don't lie, Matt. Last week you were at the Playboy Mansion. Dude, I am bef like when I was on here a year ago, I wasn't interested in sex. And I'm not about the TNA and shit like that. It's been a year since then, and I'm so not interested in that shit. So that is not the game I play at all. I don't think keto would be good for heart health. Pretty fatty, yeah. If the hospital's at Playboy Manson, sure. Minimal meat paleo. Um, for now, I'm just gonna eat what I said I eat. I drink water, and I go to Subway, and I get a veggie wrap. In fact, I'm due in about maybe 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. I'm gonna go back to Subway, get a spinach wrap. Do you still think about Pam? Constantly. She's always on my mind. I'm always missing her. Every day, something reminds me of her, and absolutely. Uh, Pam is always and will probably always be part of my life. But uh, is Subway the best fast food for you? Well, like I said, you tell me. I used to take thirsty pictures when I was stuck in the hospital. It was the Playboy Mansion. Um, I'll put it to you this way. Like I said, you get one of those wraps, the spinach wrap, and you put spinach and onions and pickles and cucumbers and tomato, a little bit of mayonnaise and black pepper, wrap it up, and I drink water. That's it. So there's no fat in it other than the mayonnaise, which is doable. There's no salt or anything in it other than whatever they cook, whatever they when they make the spinach wrap. I don't know if there's any salt or whatever there, or the mayonnaise, but I don't think there's anything like that. But that's what I do. Substitute mayo for hummus. Having a big rock fest in Ohio. You should come here. No salt. Ew. I like the wraps, but sometimes I like the wheat bread with it hollowed out. I'm not a big fan of bread. I'm really not. I'm not a huge fan. In fact, give me 1 second because I'm going to move to a different spot. I eat the gluten-free wraps. I'm going to change to a different spot because the sun is on me right now. So give me 1 second. Oh, guacamole? No, I do not like guacamole. Not a fan. Drive to another spot because I don't want that sunshine on me. Um, give me a second. I apologize if the avocado is good for you. I mean, it's a plant. I'm sure it's wonderful, but it's gross. Looks like you're driving an armored vehicle. Not a dummy. Uh, but yeah, that's the extent of my eating habits currently. At some point, I might change a little bit, but like it's the perfect intersection of convenience and health. All I do is go to Subway, make me a sandwich. I get a cup of ice. I got a water jug here in the van, like, and it satisfies me. I have one of those and some water, and I'm good for a while. If I need a snack, I had some pretzel twists, some honey pretzel twists, and I haven't messed with those, and I get a jar of unsalted peanuts. Maybe I dive in every once in a while, but not very often. If I feel snacky, my body is an armored vehicle, more dense in my body than I have in my van. You still working that or save money saved? No, I'm working at Domino's. Work at Domino's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's still cool. You could be the next Subway Jared, but not a pedo that you know of. No, no, I'm not a pedo. Quote me on that. Matt Robarch, 2021. I'm not a pedo. Free pizza. I could get free pizza if I wanted to, but I'm not fond of it. Eating what I'm eating now, doing the Subway thing, perfectly fine. Like pizza is too much for me. So lucky you got to the hospital. Did you call an ambulance? So what happened was I was laying here in bed. It was 9:30 at night. I woke up and I was in pain. I called 911 and I was up at Ben's house, my friend Ben's. Um, I called 911. They said somebody's on their way. Then as soon as I hung up, you should work for Subway and get free Subways. Uh, I called up Ben and I told him, Kathy, my love. I told him, I said that the ambulance is on the way. Just don't want to freak anybody out, but I had a heart attack, so I called 911. Somebody's on the way. Did you say boyfriend Ben? No, I said my friend Ben. Uh, yeah, I went to. They showed up, and uh, Nicole, while we were waiting for the ambulance to show up, Nicole took my blood pressure, and it was 220 over 105, something like that. Will you ever find love again, Matt? That's not for me to say. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not looking for any relationships. I'm not trying to seek anybody out. I don't think I have a heck of a lot to offer, so I'm not. I don't feel very confident about it. You know. Um, I just the way that's the way I see it. It's not up to me. You look really good, man. Thank you, Kathy. Uh, I'm in a van. I deliver pizzas. Uh, that's it. You know, I uh, I don't do anything social. I don't, you know, not a lot of women in my life. Um, I don't think I really have much to offer. Did you need a stent? I got two stents put in the two major arteries. You know, uh, hey, you never know. Might meet a single lady ordering pizza something. I don't know. Are you down on aspirin? Yeah, I take aspirin. I take lisinopril. I take metformin. I think it's called. There's a few things that I'm taking for high blood pressure, for diabetes. Um, yeah, there's a few things. I'm like RoboCop now. No, I basically have two. I don't call them swizzle sticks. Sort of like coffee stirrers. I got like two. I get two straws stuck in my arteries to keep them going. Lipitor. Uh, Lipitor sounds familiar. I think they said it was a generic of that. But yeah, they got. So I take a handful of pills in the morning and a handful of pills in the evening. My uncle went on Ozempic and lost 100 pounds. Simvastatin. Um, it's on my phone. I can tell you. Hold on one second. I saved it on my phone. I don't remember, but where? Right, office. There we go. Chewable aspirin, atorvastatin, carvedilol, lisinopril, metformin, and Brilinta. And later, a big guy who, a big guy, sorry, a big guy like you needs a nice warm bed. Have you done up your will? No. How much carvedilol? 6.25 milligrams twice a day with meals. Oh, one, not once, twice a day. That doesn't make any sense. One, twice a day with meals. Okay, good. 25 milligrams is max dose. You're on a little bit here. And what's that? What does that do? I have no idea what these do, or they might have been explained to me at one point, but doctors say, here, take this. I'll take it. Whatever. I'm good. I'm easy going. I'm easy like that. So, cholesterol medication. All I know is that I can't seem to get my blood pressure down very much. Uh, it's not bad. I'm not like hypertension stage two, but I'm like borderline, and I go borderline. I cross over that line between borderline and high blood pressure and stage one. Synapryl medication. It's best to take that one at bedtime. Did you hear about the Babylon 5 remake? Yes, I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. Cardiac medication. Gotcha. Aspirin is blood thinner. Gotcha. So, um, yeah. So that's what my life is like then. Get up in the morning, set my alarm so I can get up in the morning. Monday, all 7 days a week, and get up at the same time. Go get me a sub. You look well. You have good color about you. Thank you. You need Yacht Club to sit back on a yacht. Relax. Nope. No Yacht Club for me, man. Anybody else wants to go ahead and do that? Feel free. It's not my thing, man. Uh, no, I want to get on here and reconnect with friends and stuff like that, but I just don't have the I don't have the desire to do all that other stuff that I wanted to do anymore. Uh, maybe someday something might happen where I'm like, you know what I want to do, like the podcast and stuff like that. If Ben has the time, we could do that. Miss Yaakov. You always seem to eat healthy sounds of chicken and stuff. Yeah, well, I did a lot of pizza as well because it was free. So always good to reconnect with friends before death. All right. Um, I mean, was that a joke? Because I have a lot of serious fear and shit. Probably not appropriate. Um, you should come on and hang with us. We are your friends. I know that. I know that. Um, it doesn't feel. It would have been a huge wake up call. Thank you for worrying about me. Uh, I just didn't like. It didn't feel good to me. It didn't feel like I wasn't in the right headspace that I wanted to get on here and dump shit because that's what I would have done. Like sometimes I'm just like I need to connect with friends and enjoy friends instead of being a lonely hermit. I don't want to be a lonely hermit. I certainly don't. But like in the space where my head was for a little while, I didn't want to talk to anybody. Um, use this as a toilet? No. Uh, no. I want to get on here and I want to talk to you guys. I do miss you guys, but if I'm just not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. And it's nothing against y'all. It's just like you know, uh, just stuff I need to sort out in my own head, kind of thing. When I feel confident enough that I can get on here and talk to people, when I don't think I'm going to be too sensitive to the responses from people, um, you know, then I will. No, absolutely will. You tried Heckle? It's amazing. It allows nudity. No, I have gotten on Heckle at all. That doesn't sound like anything. It doesn't sound anything like it. Sound like anything I'd be interested in. But like today, I'm uh, hanging out, just chilling out, doing my thing here, and I'm like, I feel confident enough that I can get on here and talk to y'all and be receptive and stuff. So it's a lot like Periscope made by an ex-broadcaster. Was it Heckle? No, it wasn't Heckle. It was another one. There was another one that I downloaded and I tried for a little while. Uh, I got this, so to communicate with folks, I can jump on this whenever I want to. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. One platform to broadcast on one platform. Like I don't even do TikTok. anymore. I haven't done that in a little bit. I haven't messed with anything else really. Um, no, phone battery was getting low, so I turned the car on, plugged in the car charger. I mean the phone charger. Um, I feel like there's something somebody said, and I did not address it. Let me see if I want to. You always see me eat healthy, chickens and salads and stuff. Yeah, I did. I did have like I change it up every now and then. I'd have chicken wings at Domino's, or I'd have some pizza at Domino's, or try a couple different flavors at Domino's, different toppings and stuff. But the amount of bread and stuff that I was eating was bad, and I would try to counter that with you know the salads and whatnot. But then I'd have like chicken tenders with it. Probably not the best thing to have either, breaded and fried and all that stuff. But so I wasn't eating super healthy. I was trying. I was making an attempt. Uh, Now it's okay. I'm cutting out salt. I'm cutting out sugar. I think for the most part that if I could, I would just not eat. Like I wish that was an option. If I could just talk myself out of food in general. But that's not healthy either because you need to put stuff in your body. You need nutrients. Can you use these? Can you see the RS abdominals for causing a heart issue? No. Sucks that you're not a camel, right? If I could, if I could just take my nutrients in pill form, or you know what, the IV drips. If I could eat by, if I could consume food through IV, like just have the nutrients like pumped into my body, that'd be fantastic. Maybe I could try juicing or whatever. I don't know. I'd be shitting through a screen door, but no, they should do like a patch. I would be totally down for that. If they could do a vitamin patch, me in 2016. I just drink water all day long and then have a patch to like put the nutrients in my body because food is a hassle now. And the only reason, the main reason why I would eat food before before getting scared out of my mind with a heart attack, the main reason why I'd eat food is for pleasure. You know, to I would eat my emotions. The only bad thing is it's a slight inconvenience to get the subway. Like if there was a subway in town or like in this area here, it's like 8 minutes from Domino's to Ben's house. And the area that I'm in right now, there's a Sonic, there's a Wendy's, there's a McDonald's, Burger King, there's a Crystal, there's a Taco Bell, there's Starbucks. Uh, there's a ton of different joints in this area, but no Subway. And that would be super convenient if I could just have a Subway like right down the road from me. So, but alas, there is you could go to the Subway that I hassled. I was hassled and skinny shamed in the Pittsburgh. That's right. They started to they were picking on you because you wanted your food hollowed out. Your bread rather hollowed out. I remember you saying something about that. It was years ago, wasn't it? What'd you say, 2016? Um, no, it just takes me like it's like 15 minutes away for me to go to a Subway just so I can get a sandwich. Which, in the grand scheme of things, minor inconvenience. So I get hollowed out wheat sub with all veggies and pepper. I'm just not a big fan of bread. It wasn't yesterday. What's today? Today's Monday. So Friday, 2 days, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, I had a bite of a pizza here at Domino's because it's been a while since I had pizza. And it's been a few weeks. I like the habanero wrap. Um, but I had a bite of pizza and it was like the regular hand tossed pizza, the crust, and it was like just so super bready. I'm like, man, I've really conditioned myself to not like bread. Like I couldn't imagine having like actual sandwich bread. It'd be like stuffing a roll in my mouth. Bread is life. Not for me, not anymore. In fact, I was watching a TikTok and it reminded me of Jimmy John's has the Unwich, where they wrap it in lettuce. I don't really like lettuce, but it's romaine lettuce, I think. I can't remember what type of lettuce they use. I mean, a veggie Unwich would just be a salad, like handheld salad. Not that not that I wouldn't have it. It'd be delicious. No, so I'm just. I think I've reached my peak boringness. You know. So what do you do for fun? Well, I get up at 8:30 in the morning, and I go drive to the Subway, and I get a sandwich, and then I drink water. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I deliver pizzas till 6. And then I go to Subway, and I get a sandwich, and I drink water. And then I go home, or then I drive to my friend's house, plug in everything so that I can charge my phone and run the fan, and then I just watch videos and then I go to sleep. That's my life. That's the fun that Matt has. Do you like Chipotle's? You can make some pretty filling salads there, somewhat healthy. No, you know what? I went to Chipotle like a month ago, and um, I really wasn't impressed with the place because I'm trying to think what time I went. I think I went like at 11 or 12. I went like during the middle of the day. I might have even broadcast while I was doing it, and they didn't have a lot. I don't know if it was just I don't remember what day of the week it was either, but it might have just been bad timing or whatever. But they didn't have a lot there, and it was the place was unclean. It was just really like very disappointing experience. So I'm like, yeah. I think I wanted carnitas, and they didn't have any, and I can't remember what I had in replacement of it. I wanted like a carnita bowl. I can't remember. All I remember is like I said, very disappointing. But yeah, perfectly happy with the setup as it is right now. What I just mentioned to you, it sounds boring, but it is absolutely like I'm in. We're good. That really sucks with the Chipotle's. They shortly had cauliflower rice. Cauliflower rice. I would love to try that. Maybe a veggie burrito. I don't think they have. I don't think they have a lot of veggies there. Like corn, rice. Maybe just do that. I'll just get corn and rice. I can't think of anything else. Corn and rice. Oh, the salsa, but maybe that has a lot of salt in it, so maybe not. Was it pico de gallo or something? Corn in the pico adds a lot of flavor. Yeah. Oh, but cilantro. No, I'm not a big fan of cilantro. I just talked myself out of it. Pico's only 25 calories. Oh, nice. Aaron, thank you for sticking around. Is anybody else still here? Thrawn hasn't spoken up in a second. Kathy hasn't spoken up in a second. Is everybody in lurker mode? Everybody just watching? All right, cool. All right. Spectating is acceptable. Thank you. Just got back from a walk with my new puppy. Oh, what kind of puppy did you get? Just hanging with my buddy. Oh, yes, I'm your buddy. What kind of puppy did you get? Congrats on the new pup. Handful, like having a toddler. So happy you're feeling better. I am. Hmm. Do tell. What kind of new job you got? Still an RN, just gave up pediatrics for adults. Do you think adults will be easier than kids? She's a golden doodle. Oh, oh, comment went away. Needed a change. Sure, that makes sense. I can respect that, especially in the medical field. Outside the hospital now, doing visits home. Oh, you know what? I think you told me about that. I think you mentioned that being a home nurse, going out and doing visits and stuff. That's outstanding. Good to hear. Golden doodle, but she doesn't look like one. She's got the fur texture of a golden, but she's black, like her poodle daddy. Oh, that's adorable. Shorter days for me and very rewarding. Um, so there's a give and take. Some people, and I don't doubt this a bit, make a really good case for the 40-hour work week. The grindstone, the grind, the hustle kind of thing. Not to put that down whatsoever. But it's like I said, there's a give and take. You make a lot of money, but in a lot of cases, a lot of that money goes towards things that you need, that you need to maintain. It comes with all the other baggage, 40-hour work week in the house and the car and all that stuff. So you're paying off loans and you're paying off, you're paying your bills, your monthly statements, and all that stuff. But it's the 5 day, 37 hours a week. That's good to hear. She's cute, but holy shit, she can be crazy. Kind of like you. They say that pets match their owners. Erin is very cute, and she's also batshit crazy. So I'm glad you found a match. Um, yeah, I may not. So I may not make a lot of money working 3 days a week delivering pizzas, but I'm happy, you know. And if you can do something more worthwhile, maybe the pay's not going to be there as much. I think after COVID and people working at home, the typical office grind won't fully go back to normal. People got a taste of the home life. Yeah, I make money, but it goes to student loans. Yeah, there's the trade off right there. Do the education. That's the best case scenario. You go for the education so that you can get the diploma or the certification for the job. That's going to make you a lot of money to pay off all the loans for your education. So yeah, and I needed student loans to get the job. Right, exactly. Um, yeah, what they call it, the Great Migration or something like that, the Great Resignation or something. Uh, I'm in that web. Yep. Um, yeah, a lot of people are realizing their worth, and or more to the point, they're realizing what's not worth it. You know, I think that's fantastic. It's gonna be a lot of hard times for people because you know uh, so little history lesson. Um, you had turn of the century, right? You had the second industrial revolution. The world suddenly became open to everybody. Industry was booming. Transportation, communication, the telephone, uh, the steam locomotion, and then eventually the car, and like everything opened up, and it was booming for a while, for a good 20 years, through the turn of the century. Uh, and everyone thought that, you know, oh my gosh, this is the new day. This is the new, that's a new age of man kind of thing. But then in the 20s, suddenly everyone with their high hopes got a little too, some people got a little too greedy. Some people got a little too ambitious. And then here comes the Great Depression. And that's when you have like my father's fathers, uh, my grandfather and great grandfather. You start talking about the silent generation, the people that lived throughout the Depression and had nothing, and then it was the rebuilding of America, and everyone's kind of tucking their living with nothing, trying to rebuild America. So you had the silent generation. You had the generation of people that were, kids were uh, seen and not heard, and you don't complain. You should be grateful for everything that you get, and you should keep your nose to the grindstone. That's where we get a lot of that stuff from, the nose to the grindstone, and hard work pays off, and just keep your head down and keep your chin up, and et cetera, all that stuff. And so people should be grateful, and they're like, you pull yourself up by the bootstraps kind of thing. Everybody lived in dirt. Everyone lived in scrapping and scraping and clawing, whatever. That was like my grandfather's generation that grew up like that. Like, men were men, and you didn't really deal with your feelings. You didn't really deal with emotions. You worked hard. You went out and you did a hard day's work, and the 3 meals a day, and dusk till dawn, or dawn till dusk, I should say, kind of attitude. And it was effective. They did the hard work, and that was, like I said, after after the war. Uh, you dealt with a lot of different things in that time period, and then the next generation of kids were the baby boomers, because the silent generation did their work, and because they toiled and they did all that stuff. It paid off. But you had the next generation was like the baby boomers, the one that's like, okay, we've rebuilt. Let's start to bring in the new generation, and we can reap the benefits, reap the rewards um, of all that hard work. And then with the baby boomers came Generation X. That the boomers were raised by the silent generation, so it was still, you keep your mouth shut and you do your thing, and you don't speak out. You don't you appreciate everything that you have, and you don't say a word. So the next generation, the couple generations after that, with the boomers and with Gen X, starting to realize that there was a lot more wrong with what's going on. But we still had that. We were raised by our parents, who were raised by their parents, and it wasn't until Generation X that people are like, okay, I think that the system's a little antiquated. We may need to do something about this now, and we may need to speak up now. And but we still didn't really do anything, other than the fact that the Generation X, or the X generation, starting to see the conflict. I think that's where a lot of the depression and anxiety and stuff like that comes with Gen X, is because we have the wrong programming. We had an antiquated programming of, don't speak up, appreciate what you got, and the whole dealing with emotions and seen but not heard kind of thing was an old program that needed to get updated big time. Old software. Uh, and we're speaking about a lot of other things other than just work too. The way that we treat other people and other kinds of people. But that's a whole other conversation. And as time goes on, we got another couple generations after Gen X, Gen Z, millennials. We got 2 more generations that have come up since the world belonged to my generation. And yeah, with like it's not just speaking up; it's really getting to the heart of things. And the point I'm trying to get to is like the jobs and stuff like that, like the quality of life kind of stuff. Being comfortable with who you are, being comfortable with what you do, how you live your life. Not only I'm not happy, but one step further, what can I do to make myself happy, but to do it the right way? And that's where we're getting to the point now where a lot of people are taking stock of their lives. I'm a zillennial. A lot of folks are. Well, I mean, I am a generation living right now in the current age where people are trying to figure out what they want to do for a living and what's important to them. I've come from a time, and I've come from a place where I was born and raised as nose to the grindstone. Like I've experienced both ends of that. I think that's one of the reasons why I feel so fucked up in my life is because I was hooked into the old software. I was hooked into the old program. And that generation of people who are like, I'm not quite at that age where, like, I'm thinking about politicians and stuff like that. You got guys that were, one generation previous to me, or ish. Like you got the old guys are in the White House. The old politicians and they have their own certain mindset and the way that they run things. And the old people in power kind of thing. Uh, like they just have a different. It's nice to see that people are starting to alter their programming, update their programming to be more accepting, and realize that there's a need for change. Um, Not to get political, this isn't necessarily just talking about politics, but just like the general mindset of things. It's becoming popular that things need to be better, and that like people are realizing that the old ways we can take some really good stuff, some really good experience, some really good knowledge, and a lot of the structure of the old ways, and we can apply them in a new way. Like the whole idea of TED Talks and stuff like that is an example that popped into my head with YouTube and the internet and we have the means to share information and to share experiences and to talk about certain subjects. More and more things are, I should say, less and less things are taboo. We can talk about, we can have a forum like on YouTube and stuff like that where people can say, can shine a light on what's really going on and what needs to change and how things can change. And people are starting to be receptive. People are starting. They may not be interpreting what they hear properly, but that's all right because we're all human and we fuck up, and that's fine. But it's the congratulations for people for actually starting to listen and starting to accept that things can be different and starting to alter their programming in a way to be more accepting, more inclusive, more uh, more open, like to the lifestyle that I'm living now. Like I said, I was born and raised at a time where it was exactly that: three meals a day, 40-hour work week, no to the grindstone. Do what you can, hustle, 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 grind, 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 and someday it'll pay off. The go to school, then you go to college, then you get a relationship, then you get married, then you have kids, then you have a house, because that's the way that it's always been, and don't question it. Like these are the rules. This is the way you live your life, and these are the goals in your life, and so that's the way that it is, and that's the American dream. That's the goal. That's where your ambition should lie. Monetary success and social success. But I've gone from that in my life to where I am right now, where everything's fucking up in the air. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Uh, you know, it's certainly not conventional to be sleeping in a van and living on my own. You know, I know that I'm doing a lot of things wrong because I had a fucking heart attack. I still suffer from depression. I still have all these fears and doubts and shit. I think about death more often than I probably should at this point in my life. Um, Uh, and I wish I said something sooner because Thrawn said something about get in touch with your friends before death kind of thing. I do think about death quite a bit. Certainly at 49, a lot more than it was in my 20s because I wasn't expecting to be where I am right now. I wasn't expecting anything. Here I am, right? It doesn't matter what I was thinking when I was in my 20s. It's like where I am right now. It's fucking scary. And some things are hard to process. So I'm in the mix right now. I'm in the soup. I'm trying to learn how to be me, you know, figure out what I am, figure out who I am, figure out what I want to do. And right now I'm in a comfortable spot, you know. I think that was the main thing for me. The main goal for me was, you know what, get comfortable. Find your comfortable spot right now. Find something that you can handle and do that for a little while. Uh, I think I said that before on here as well. Um, where my ambitions and everything lie is, all right, let's try to work our way, build your way up from I want to commit suicide. I don't want to be alive now. Build something up from that. Build something up from I don't want to feel heartache every day and be afraid and just not even know what life is about. Let's try to build something from that because Pam crushed me. Her passing, and then realizing that I'm old, not knowing whether I'll ever you know be with anyone ever again. Having to figure out a life without somebody, uh, a lot of like broke me in a lot of ways, and I'm on the mend. And then a heart attack. So one more thing that's like, okay, add that to the list. At least I'm able to keep my head above water still. I had a huge scare. Luckily, technology was available. You know, a good takeaway from this is the fact that my dad died of a heart attack. The technology wasn't available at during his time. He had a couple heart attacks, and then I think like two or three, and it was that second or third one that did him in. Whereas I went into a hospital, stayed for a few days. Was it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? So like I was in the hospital for 4 days. The procedure took like 20 minutes. The rest of it was them monitoring me, making sure it was okay, getting me on my meds, make sure I was okay to go, and then boom, the next 1 week later, I'm delivering pizzas again. Um, so advancement there. Go, go modern medicine. So I have that on my side. So I got that going for me, which is nice. So I said salama. Um, he said guni guni gunga gunga la gunga gunga la. Um, but that's nice to see that other people are doing the same thing that I'm doing. It's nice to know I'm not alone. A lot of other people are taking stock of their lives. They're making changes in their lives. They have the strength and the courage to say, I'm not happy where I am. I'm not happy with what I got. I would like something different. I deserve more. I deserve better. And making a change and not just like staying at the same job over and over again. You know, I've done that too much in my life, and I kind of wish there been plenty of times where now I wish then that I could have changed the things I wanted to change. You know, I wish that I could have been as strong as I was. I don't know if strong is the right word. People have said that, and I appreciate people for saying that. On that, I'm so proud of how strong you are and how brave you are to make those changes in your life. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but motivated enough to say, do something different with your life. I'm not where a lot of people would be in a van and hanging around. There's still part of my old programming in my head, old judgment in my head saying, you don't have land, you don't have a house, you don't have like tangible assets, you don't have a career, you don't have any of the things that you were supposed to have at 49 years old. You don't have a wife, you don't have kids, you don't have the house, you don't have the car and the job, and the degree and any of the stuff. So there's part of me that considers myself to be a failure, but that's old programming. That's the old ways, and we're not in that era anymore. We're not in that age anymore. So, am I making sense to anybody? I went on the rant. Just want to make sure that I want to make sure that made sense. And yeah, getting back, like, again, connecting that with what you were talking about, that people are just like getting fed up with their jobs, and they're saying, I deserve better, I deserve more, I deserve different. One of the good things to come out of a super unfortunate event in our lives, a very transformative year, 2 years, really, 18 months, 2 years, let's say 2 years. I put people in a lot of bad spots. It wasn't all. My suffering happened. My tragedy happened before this tragedy happened. Billy D, hello, sir. How you doing? I'd say that I was more devastated and affected by the events of, what is it now, 3 years ago when Pam passed. I was more devastated and affected by that than COVID. So Thank you, Billy D. Appreciate that. Chilly weather in Connecticut. Yeah, temperatures dropped here too. It's like 60 degrees for a high in Tennessee and about 40 degrees. I think it was like got down to like 41 last night. Still much happier to be in Tennessee than I am to be in New England. No, the past year in quarantine, I think my position, having myself in a van but being near family, I think that was I think I rode that out in the best, not the best possible way, but in a really solid, what's the word I'm looking for? Found shelter. I'll put it that way. You know, we've got the tallest. Can't even say it. I've got the Tennessee Dollar General HR gang up here in Connecticut. One store signed cards to have a union vote. Tennessee Dollar General HR gang up here. Dollar General is not union. Why the hell not? I don't know. DG is based in Tennessee. Oh, that I didn't know. Interesting. You know what? Is that the reason why we have so much Mountain Dew? Because Mountain Dew is based in Tennessee as well. And every time I go into Dollar General, they have a ton of Mountain Dew products in Dollar General. I think I've just realized something there. Dollar General sells a lot of Mountain Dew here in Tennessee. They're both Tennessee originals, that's as well. Um, I'm not really a politics guy and business guy, so I don't know a lot about unions other than the fact that it's basically employees looking out for employees, separate from the corporations. You know, you have management in the stores and everything like that, but then you have employees who are basically pulling together in order to protect themselves. So to me, in my head, in my simple mind, it sounds like a good deal. Could be. Seems Pepsi has a large stake in DG. I'm coloring in a coloring book I got from DG this morning. Oh, cool. Again, I don't know about business, and I'm sure there are people that could tell me like a ton of bad things about unionization and all that. For the store, it isn't great. They only have 6 employees, not much power, and such a low number. Hmm. Am I okay? Uh, I'm not doing too bad right now. I feel so bad every time I go. I got to a dog. There's only like one per. I feel bad every time I go to a Dollar General. There's only like one person. Yeah, really. Um, Billy D, I'm interested. Are you asking if I'm okay because you think there may be something wrong, or are you just generally asking me how am I doing? I ask that because I'm normally oblivious to if somebody's like, "Are you okay?" Like maybe I got a look on my face, or I'm acting a certain way that I'm not realizing I'm acting certain. Yes, sir. Thought something was wrong. Oh no, no. I'm generally a little bit. I'm generally a little bit more tired than I have been because I had a heart attack a couple weeks back, and my energy level just hasn't been up in general. But also, I've been talking about a lot of stuff, so uh, my mind's been a lot of different places. I've been on here for an hour, and I've been talking the whole thing about how I feel internally and how I feel emotionally. I've covered a lot of ground, so maybe you're just seeing the general exhaustion on my face. I'm glad you're. Yeah, I am. I'm doing all right. I'm still alive. Past couple of years, man. Like I've gone through so much shit in my brain, man. Changed through my 3 antidepressants. They stopped working. Oh, well, I hope those work for you. Whatever anybody can do to find a way to be better, you know, whatever changes people need to make or whatever things people need to ingest or habits or whatever, like whatever you can do, anything that comes along to make your life a little bit better and a little bit easier, God bless you. I hope you find it. Am I passing out Halloween candy? Do you think that a 49-year-old man living in a van is really the type of guy that should pass out candy? I mean, how many warning flags do you need? If it's not illegal, it should be. Right? Matt, you are hysterical. Well, I'm just saying. I didn't set up the joke. I was sitting here minding my own business. Man in the van with bags of candy. Well, hold on a second. Let me, come on up to the van. I'll give you some candy. Let me fix the place up a little bit. I'll put the Batman comforter on my bed. You like some candy? That would be a no. Like I said, I was just here minding my own business. Y'all put that on me. Give them empty bottles of beer to go home with. It's like old times, laughing. Oh, good times. I would love to find a place around here that I could sit down comfortably and plug in my laptop and play some Minecraft for a little while. I could probably go back to Ben's and plug in and do that. But mommy, we missed one stop. The van guy has the best candy. I would too. Damn it! If I did, if I did hand out candy, can you plug in at McDonald's? Yeah, I could. I could do that. I think I'll probably end up going to bed. Not Ben's rather. Matt goes home with um I'll probably drive back to Ben's. I'm just waiting for the sun to go down a little bit. People in vans giving out candy sounds very dodgy. Oh, yes. Thrawn just caught up. I like to think that Thrawn's the type of guy that would show up at a comedy show or something and like yell the punchlines back to the guy. Do the or like yell the songs that the band has already played at the concert. What about you're in a van with candy, right? Still working the weekends at Domino's. I am. People in vans get them. Still working at the weekends at Domino's. Yep, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 6. Does me pretty good. Yep. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nice chill week. Temperature good in Tennessee. It is gorgeous out here now. Do they expect you to make a full recovery with a better diet? Uh, I mean recovery. It's Matt drives around all the preschools giving kids candy, ends up in the newspaper. No, I'm glad that somebody is getting entertainment about making me creepier and creepier. It's disturbing. You know, it'd be funny if Matt fucked kids. Oh, did he give kids candy or kidnapped them? You never saw the kids again? Oh, my sons. You ever seen her in the bed? Um, well, I mean, okay. The way you asked that, you sound like you're underwater. What? He knows. Um, well, yeah, I know that you're trying to make jokes. It's just you're laughing. I'm like creeped. I'm like cringing. Uh, yeah, I know you don't mean what you said, but you're the one being entertained. I'm just like, I don't want to be in that scenario. Um, is there a problem with the connection? Am I underwater for anybody else? Sounds good to me. Okay. Miss that nice cold Maine weather? No, sir. Negative. No, it's gorgeous here in Tennessee right now. I'm negative very much. Maybe I'm the one that's still having it for a bed break. Um, when will you be heading back? Not for a while. No. Life is happening now, which is preventing me from going forward. It's pretty much trying to. I'm in like death mode. I'm in like foundation mode, trying to trying to get my shit together mode. And then once I have that set, like I'm hoping at some point when you swing by New York, you must swing by me. Oh sure. Uh, I hope to get to a position soon. I mean, I got to deal with the hospital and those things. Make sure that I don't have to, pay out a whole shitload of money with that. Um, and the tires are taken care of, the brakes are taken care of, everything seems to be all right with this van now. So hopefully I don't have to put any, hopefully I can start like making some money and put it in the bank and I'll stay there for a little bit. Hopefully, no more surprises. Hopefully, the rest of this year I could just like, start working and like moving forward rather than moving backward. Did the hospital cost you a fortune? I haven't gotten a bill yet. Working in the UT and University of Tennessee Medical Center, and dealing with like I'm dealing with. So I'm super poor. Let's put it that way. I am super poor. I am below the poverty line, and I'm dealing with people that could hopefully help me pay for, if not pay for, all of what's been done. Outreach, if you want to call it. Work with them for charity. My hospital bed was over 27,000 paid, all paid by Medicaid. Yeah, I haven't received any type of bill yet. They do that for people considered poor. Yeah, so I basically I show them that I don't make any money, and they go, okay, well, you know, we'll we'll use a grant to pay for all your shit. You would make a great hospital orderly, pushing around beds and picking up patients. No. Carrie DDD. Hello, Carrie. How are you? Good day to you. No, I do not. I absolutely do not want to work in the medical field at all. It is not a comfortable place for me. Like, talk about stressing me out. Bad enough visiting a hospital, but to be around that day in and day out, no, I do not have that. I do not have the ability. I'm. Thank you very much for your opinion, but I'm exactly where I want to be right now. Yeah. Uh, I'm glad to be out of there too. Yeah. I'm gonna guess you're driving a Ford or Dodge cargo van. Cargo van, yes. Uh, yeah, Nissan. What was I gonna say? Yeah, if I have nothing and I let them know I have nothing, then they're gonna go, okay, we'll ask for somebody else for the money because they can do that once in a while. So that's why we're doing. Would you rather audition for the near review code? No. Damn, so close. Big car truck guy. Perfect van for the little kids. Do not put me in your creepy scenarios, please. You'd make a great beer, though sometimes you're like a Londo. I'm feeling more Londo as we go. I have 3 daughters. Life isn't fair. 3 daughters? Like, one, if you don't want kids, stop fucking people. 2, are they alive? Are they doing well? You should be happy as shit. 3, um, I live in a fucking van, dude. Yeah, man, I have a job and I have kids. And, I mean, life isn't fair. No, I love kids, but God should have allowed me one. Mm. Can you trade one in? I don't know. They have operations. See if you could pay off one of your daughters. Listen, I know you like being a girl and everything, but it's super inconvenient for me. So one of you needs an operation. 3, they're old enough for met date. Or are they old enough for met date? Don't bring that. Now you're going too far. Money is the most important thing to me. I'm best when doing simple things. If your father said you had to get a sex change operation, would you? If my dad said I needed a sex change operation, first of all, uh, I'd be trying to get the movie rights and all that shit to that, sell that shit because my dad's been dead for 30 years plus. So if my dad told me I needed a sex change operation, that'd be scary as fuck. He could talk to you while you're asleep. Does that not weird out anybody else? Hey, if your dead father could talk to you in your sleep to convince you to get a sex change, is that not just nightmare fuel for anybody else? Live in your van, have a job that's better than some. Yeah, that's true. No, I am fortunate. I am fortunate. I'm just like the life is not fair. You just told him he had to let one of his daughters get a sex change. All right, well, that was a joke because he wanted a boy. Do not, under any circumstances, ask one of your daughters to get a sex change operation. There's enough jobs for anyone who wants one. Don't live off the system. Yeah, that's tough for me. Would you let yourself be adopted by? Um, that's tough for me because I'm in one of those situations where, uh, or I've been in those situations before where living off the system, such a blanket statement. I mean, there are things that people who are in need can utilize. And there have been times where I needed that help, but pride says don't live off the system. I've said that same thing to myself sometimes. But like a lot of the therapy, some medication and stuff that I've taken, a lot of that stuff, uh, I'm grateful that's been available. So I don't necessarily live off the system, but if you have medical issues, that's different, right? Although, if the situation, well, here's the thing. Uh, if life was such that everybody could benefit from the system, like universal basic income. That sort of situation where everybody could get, like, if everybody could get 2 grand a month, if we could work out universal basic income, like that would be fucking great. That would be my living off the system. Like if I could make 2,000 a month, if I could have that coming in for me, my gosh, like life changing. That would be so amazing for me. I know people who are able to work and choose to live on welfare. Well, there are a lot of people doing that, like with COVID and everything, like not getting a job because unemployment is helping them out, kind of thing. As long as everyone's putting in their time working, I'm open to new ideas. Yeah, yeah. I don't talk about politics a lot, and I don't talk about a lot of stuff like that. But like that one thing, the universal basic income, is interesting to me. Would that just create more bums? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know how people act. I don't know how people will behave. All I know is that if in my lifetime I can go from like being a kid with a black and white television and a landline phone to being 40, to turn 50 and have life be like almost Star Trek, I have a computer I can put in my pocket, access to the internet, not have to worry about monetary gain, like to live in that sort of a life where, like, oof, 24th century type of ideas. Have you been watching Lower Decks though? Yang has some good ideas. Yeah, and it was interesting to find out that uh, he wasn't even the first one to think about that. Like Ben Franklin, like that sort of idea of universal basic income has been bounced around for you know centuries. I'm not talking about being a communist. I'm not talking about being a socialist. I'm not talking about like living in you know I'm not I don't know the terminology. I don't know the lingo. I'm not talking about being un-American or whatever people end up like taking everything out of context, and like it's not a very controversial thing to say. If there were a way that, I mean, let's face it, everybody could use that. Like with the trying to think of the word, stimulus type of situation. Everybody could use that boost, could use that help to have their basic needs covered. $2,000 for me would take care of my food, would take care of my gas, would take care of all my bills. Like that would be amazing. To have everything covered, and I could still work 3 days a week at Domino's, and that's just like on top of all my basic needs are taken care of, and I can use that the money I make from Domino's to like actually save some money and put that towards a better vehicle and bettering my life, sort of thing, where I don't have to worry about making money. Like that would be amazing. Socialists want the hard workers of society to pay their. Yeah, I looked that up the other day. I was like, okay, let me. Americans hate anything to do with socialism. They think it's all communist scum. Well, that's the thing. So again, I'm not usually one to talk about politics, but I actually looked it up because I'm like, all right, I want to get the definitive in layman's terms. What's the definitive thing? Like, what is everybody uses these words, and I hear the words a lot, and people are bouncing around, and they've never been a part of the conversation. So it never really like I just hear people talking, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear it. Like that's basically been my attitude. So much stuff is socialism. Cops are social. Um, my general distaste for a lot of people and things they talk about are they want to argue and they have their own ideas, but they have half-assed definitions, and they do like they. I wouldn't want to get into an argument unless I was informed, unless I was educated on the subject. I'm one of those people that I don't talk unless I know what the hell I'm talking about. And so I'm like, all right, I want to look that up. I want to look up what communism is, what socialism is. Socialism is basically people are working and the government controls stuff. Like not corruption, not in a bad way, in a good way. Like your government would help, would take everything that we do, the people work towards creating the the thing, the stuff that people need. The government controls the distribution of the stuff. Like that's what socialism is. That's not communism. Communism is that everybody works towards helping everybody else. But everybody uses socialism. I mean, socialism is what everybody says communism is. You know, the commie bastards kind of thing. They always say it like that. Like Russia, they say is a communist country, but it's not. It's a socialist. I mean, it's what they call it, the United Social Soviet Russia or something like that. It's like USSR. It's socialism is what is the bad thing. Communism is like I'm saying. I'm just going by my experience in my life. Everybody that says communism is the worst. Communism is evil. But communism sounds great. Everybody working to help everybody else out. Everybody working together to do, like if there is work to be done and it's spread out amongst everybody and everybody does the work and puts it in the pot and then everyone gets a fair distribution of what's in the pot to help the community again, like that sounds great. It sounds like bad. It sounds like propaganda by rich people. We're like, no, we should all want to get me and mine as much money as possible, everything for me, and you should go grab for you. Everybody should be like working to get as much shit as possible for themselves. And that like that's freedom. That's America. That's what capitalism is. That's the great thing about capitalism is that you do. I don't give a shit about you. I'm going to work as hard as I want to work and get my money, and then I'm going to take my money and use my money to make more money, so that I can be a Jeff Bezos. I can, I could do whatever it is that I have to do, need to do, want to do to make me as much money as possible, so that I win. So I have millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and property and everything for me, because it's all about me. Whereas communism sounds like, you know, rather than me working my ass off and exploiting everybody else and cheating the system and working the system, not cheating the system, but if nobody's getting cheated and everybody's doing a little bit of work to help out everybody else, and then we're all benefiting from it, like that sounds great. But you can't use the word communism without suddenly the cops being called on you or something like that. That sort of thing. Like you called out on social media or stuff like that. That's a communist. They get the idea. It's like a trigger word for some people. Can't use the word socialist, because then everybody that if you use those terms, people that are into politics all the time, and people are just like they wait for someone to use something like that, use one of those terminologies to trigger them. Oh, hey, we're going to talk about politics. Let me just vomit everything I know about politics into your face. Don't argue with anyone in the MAGA hat. In Canada, I pay the most percentage of my income to taxes. Rich hide money, and low income pay nothing. Does this seem fair? For hardworking people to just work harder and the benefits not coming back to you, like the bare minimum of benefits coming back to you, uh, you work your ass off and somebody else benefits from it, not you. Of course, it's unfair. You know, if it's unfair or not. You know, somebody knows somebody, and there's money under the table, and there's corners being cut. Somebody's better at the game that you are, and so the person next to you is making millions of dollars and just fucking winning, working at a totally different level than you are, and you're there trying to scrape by to make enough money. You're working paycheck to paycheck. Like, no, it's not fair. You know that. Nobody needs to ask these questions. It's like, fucking obviously. You know, I don't have a lot. I don't want a lot. I don't need a lot. I can live a very nice life living beneath the poverty level if I wanted to. I mean, I'm doing all right, and I am below the poverty level here in America. Happiness to me isn't how much I have and how much I acquire. You know, I live fairly comfortably, but it's time others step up. The bottom line I'm trying to say is I would love there to be a time where I've seen it in other scenarios, where if there's a lawn to mow, I'll just put it that way. If there's a house to clean, I'll use that as an example. You have a household where there's 5 people. There's you and your spouse and your 3 kids. And you live in your house and your house is a mess. If 5 people that live in the house work together, everybody picks a room, everybody has their chores, everybody does their job, and you all work together, it takes very little work for each person spread amongst 5 people. Everybody does their share, and then the house is clean. And it can be done in a shorter amount of time. But if you have 4 people that are like fuck you, and one person cleans the house on their own because everybody else doesn't give a shit, that one person's gonna burn out because they're dealing with all that shit, and it's like there's no balance. We need balance. That's it. What was the statistic? There's like maybe 5 people in this world that are making more money than the other 95% of America. Isn't that fucked up? Out of everybody in the world, you remove kids, you remove the elderly, you got a lot of poor people, you have a lot of immigrants, you got a lot of, or should I say, undocumented folks. You look at America on a map, and you remove like maybe a third of America because it's not populated. Then you remove another third of the map because they're low populated, and like you get the major cities that have a decent amount of the population. And like I said, I was watching something where they did that. They kept narrowing it down, but like I think it's like 5 people in the United States. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm off. But I'm just saying, like that's what it feels like in my head. There's like 5 people that are making more money, astronomical, like just ludicrous amounts of money compared to. Well, that's they say it's the one percenters. That's the 1%er. 1% of the population making more money than the other 99% of the population. Again, I don't math, I don't numbers, so I don't know the numbers. I'm just saying, it just seems really hooked up. Anyways, how'd I get on that shit? Alright, well, you know what? Who's still here? Just type in here. Let me know who's present. Like roll call in school. Nobody? Sweet. Alright, I'm done. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and we'll talk to you all soon. I might hop on Facebook for a little bit because I wasn't able to look up on Facebook on here. I get on Facebook for a bit.